Greetings everybody, welcome back to my home. No fishing videos this weekend, unfortunately. Harpsdale's frozen over. It's -3 up here in Thurso just now, and I'm just back from taking the dog for a walk. So I just thought it'd be a good, going by the intro there, talk about a couple of the reels that I've just bought recently. Nothing that's breaking my bank at all. Very affordable, very durable reels from Grays. So we're talking about the Grays fin in a 5.6 and the new Cruise that's in a 5.6. Now, within this sort of like little range, I've actually got the tail in a 5.6. I've got the fin in a 5.6. Like I say, got the new Cruise reel. Now, I'm just going to kind of go over a few sort of, in my own opinion, my own sort of pros and cons about it. All cracking reels, don't get me wrong. I think Grays have made some nice little die cast reels here, and these are perfect reels for just, as Howard Crossan said, for just throwing about your local still water. If you're not wanting to get your proper sort of like bar stock aluminium reels from getting damaged so much, you can just chuck these about. Yes, they'll get dented and they'll get scratched, but that's the whole purpose of them, you know. But I thought I'd give them a try out and talk about them really. I've had the Grays fin, not the fin, the tail, since last summer. I got this last May. Lovely little reel. As you've probably seen on my lock videos from the summer, I was using this quite a lot up in my local club waters, and it's loaded with the 6-weight avocado by Celestial Filings, and as you can see here, I've got just like a foot section, 15-pound fluoro going to a tippet ring. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. I did a previous video on how to rig this up, but I quite like this reel. It's quite a solid. They're all solid reels. So I'll just talk a wee bit about it. This reel, what I like about this reel is I like the aesthetics about it. I like the red sort of aluminium rim to it. Makes palming the spool quite easy. And as you can hear there, just a very silent drag and a very silent retrieve to it. Solid little number. Nice clicky drag button. I quite like that in a lot of my reels. I like a clicky drag button, you know. I like to feel that I'm engaging it, you know. And it's very responsive. And it's a very solid drag as well. A couple of clicks and you're feeling it straight away. So yeah, I like this reel. It's a grand reel. I think out of the 3 reels I've got here in front of me, this is the more expensive one. This one was 110 quid. I think I got this one from Sportfish last summer. And it's in good nick, you know, for all the times I've taken up the lock and that. So if anyone's ever looking for a decent sort of reel, look into this. It's actually a good reel. Going back on topic though, so I got the fin here. Oh, shaking the tripod. So this is the fin. I've had this one now for, I don't know, a few months, couple of months, 2-3 months. As you can see here, nice sounding drag there. Quite a gentle click on the retrieve. Let me just wind this in quickly. Again, I've got like a 2-foot section of 15-pound tippet with a tippet ring here. This is just for chucking out the indicator on. But yeah, what I like about this is, again, it's a solid reel. It's 3.9 inches in diameter. I like the design. But my only gripe with it is a couple of things. I feel that the handle's a little bit too short. Comparing the length between the handle on the Cruise and the fin, the Cruise's handle is about 3mm longer than this one, and because the spool, I don't know if you can see it, is slightly concaved, which is part of the design obviously, and I find that when I'm reeling in, my knuckle is brushing off the rim quite a bit. I mean, it's not affecting, you know, the performance of reeling, you know, but I just feel like my fingers rub more against the frame than it does on the Cruise reel, which I'll show you in a minute. And it's a good reel. I think I got this one for $65.99. I think the spare spools for like 24.99, 25 quid, something like that. And what I like about the designs is the foot on the reels are moulded into the actual frame itself, which is kind of, it's just a cutting edge design, let's be honest with you. But my gripe is that the handle's a wee bit too stumpy. And also, the drag knob, you'll get a couple of little clicks to begin with, which you can barely hear, and then it's silent. I mean, it's engaging, you know, it does engage the drag pretty quick actually, if I'm honest with you. And it's a solid drag, but I like that click. I like to feel my drags clicking, so I was kind of hoping it would be a bit more of a clicky drag. That's just my own personal opinion. I'm sure there's folk out there that don't really give a monkeys about it, but that's just my own sort of take on it. I wish it was just a bit more clicky, but it's a solid drag right enough, it really is. I mean, 65 quid, folks. I mean, I've got like my Hardy Demon and my GX900, and I've got my old G-Tech reel, and you know, those are the Barstock aluminium ones, and my Hardy Marquis, and that. They're nice reels and a bit more expensive than that, but for chucking around, even the locks, I would say, if you're looking for a decent reel, look into getting that. Another little gripe though, however, I find is they've all got retaining nuts, retaining screw nut things, you know, so when you release your spool. This is a bit flimsy, it's a bit thin, and another gripe I have with this reel is this noise. I hate it, it does my head in sometimes. There's a bit of play there between the spool and the frame. Most reels tend to have that. I know my GX900 is the same. When you're winding it, you're hearing it. I don't like that clicking noise. I mean, it's never going to pop off because the screw nut's pretty solid here, but it's just that maybe a half a mil of play there, and that's just one thing I find a bit irksome, if you will. But again, it's a nice reel, solid. It's already got a couple of wee little chips on the anodizing here, but that's again with die cast reels, you're going to get that putting your rod on the ground, even in the grass or whatever, it's going to get scuffed and scraped. Excuse me, there's a couple of little dings on it already. I'm not really that worried. Like I said, it was only 65 quid. So this is the one I tend to use now on harp seal when I'm bunging it. This is my floating reel, sorry, for my bung or dry fly if I wanted to swap to a dry fly. And this has got the Rocket 2 floater by Witchwood. It's the Series 2 Rocket floater. Must admit, guys, I've got 2 lines now on the Series 2 range from Witchwood, and I'm very impressed with how supple they are. Like I say, they're $39.99 on Sportfish, or you can get them, I think it's $39.99 on John Norris as well. And I get mine from Anglin Active just because I'm in the north of Scotland, and Anglin Active is down in Stirling, so it's 5-6 hours away from where I live, but I tend to get it within 2 to 3 days, so I tend to order from them as opposed to like Sportfish and all that. It takes a wee bit longer, it takes up to 5 days to get up to where I am. But 40 quid for a fly line, you know. And when I was taking it out of the box, I was like, wow, this is really, really supple. And even casting it for the first time, there was no memory. So Witchwood have definitely improved their Rocket series from the previous model that they'd had going on for a few years. So definitely implore you guys, if you're looking for a fairly cheap line with a good bit of memory on it, not a good bit of memory, with no memory, a coiled line with very little memory, look for the Rocket Series 2 floater. They've also got an energy taper one for if you want to cast out to the moon and back, which on my fishery you don't need till. So yeah, it's a good line paired with the reel. So there you go, there's the fin. A very nice reel. My only gripe is, like I say, I would have liked a clicky drag knob. I would have liked a fatter retaining nut and a slightly longer handle and less of that, because with this one, with the tail, there's none of that as well. It's solid, and yet it's very quiet. It's very quiet. I would have liked that to have been a bit louder. I like not too loud, not like a Marquis scream, but something a bit louder. Still a nice reel though. I love this reel. I love this reel. They're good for throwing about the still water, so I'll be using these for the foreseeable. But I'll tell you what I'm really impressed with. I'm really impressed with this. Right, so this is their baseline die-cast reel, the Cruise. This is in 5.6. Again, 3.5 inch diameter spool. Maybe about, I don't know what the width is. I'll put the dimensions of this reel up here, so you can pause the video for a second and just have a look at the dimensions of this particular one. And do you know something? I actually find spec wise, it's a darn sight better than this. A lot better, in fact. I like the design. I like the wide arbor on it. Less sort of framey looking than the fin. I mean, yeah, I know that Greys were going for like an industrial sort of look, and it works. But I feel that this is vastly more improved, and it also, it's a damn sight cheaper than the fin. I got this for $54.99. I mean, that's cheap as chips. You can get a fly line for that, yeah? Again, I'm going to be using this for throwing about in the still waters and on the locks, and I've paired this one up, as on my previous video, with the Rocket, not the Rocket 2, the Series 2 Hoverer line. Let me have a quick sip of my beer. Again, very impressed from Witchwood. It's incredibly supple straight out the box, and it casts like a dream. And it, yeah, I'll be using that again soon when I get back out again. But I'll talk about a couple of the features that I like in this. So the first thing I like is the retaining screw nut thing here. Yeah, that's thick and chunky. I mean, that, you really feel your finger on that. Whereas on this one, it's maybe 5mm thick. It's really thin, you know, and you're like, I could do with something chunkier to grip onto. So I like on this reel how the retaining screw is a damn sight thicker, and it's got nice grippage on it. And when it goes in tight, no play whatsoever between the spool and the frame, unlike on the fin. And that to me is a bonus, because a lot of cheap reels and a lot of expensive reels have that play, and it's annoying. I don't like it. As you see there, solid, decent length of handle. Like I said, it's 3mm longer than the one on the fin, and I like the drag knob on it. Nice big chunky drag knob, and you can, yeah, see, I like that. You feel like the drag's engaging when you're 1, 2, 3, 4. You feel those clicks. There we go. What I'll do is I'll slacken it off like that, and I'll just go 1, 2 turns, and that's enough for me, right? Molded foot again. Now listen to this on the retrieve. Yeah, I like that. And none of this click, 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 because it's slapping against the body of the frame. That sounds really nice. I like the sound of that. And we'll get the drag. Yeah, I like the sound of that. I really do like the sound of that. Just wind this bad boy back in. Yeah, I like that. I'm actually really impressed with this reel, and also because it's cheaper than the fin. You know, I'm not really going to be worried so much if I get this scraped in that $54.99. It's not breaking the bank at all, like I say. But I'm actually very impressed with how this looks. I like the sleek design. I like it's very modern. I like the 6 sort of pronged frame design here. I like that. It's got the rule-on. They've all got rule-on disc drags here, you know. So they will last. Just give them a wee dot of oil every once in a while, you know. But I'm more impressed with this than I am with this, than I am with that. Like I say, I like them all, but I'm way more impressed. I mean, Greys, I don't know what you were thinking about. I mean, why couldn't you have put this into your more expensive models? A nice clicky drag knob, a louder audible retrieve and drag sound, because us anglers like to know when a fish is taking line. We like to hear it. We like other people to hear it as well. And yes, I really like that sound, and I like the look of it. Very nice. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that that's my take on it. I really like that. I like the retaining nut, screw in it, nice and solid, and it's reliable. Decent length of handle. My knuckles aren't dragging against the frame of the rim of the spool when I'm reeling, because I've got the extra 3mm of space away from the spool when I'm winding, as opposed to on the fin I'm like this. My hand is right rubbing against it, you know. So I like that. I like the sound, obviously, and I like the aesthetics of it. So much so that I've actually ordered the 7/8. Now I don't own 7 or 8 weight lines, but on a couple of other bar stock aluminium reels, I've got them. I purposely bought them in a slightly wider arbor, because basically I mean, this is going to serve. This looks great on my tail rod anyway. That I've got my 10-foot 6 weight. It just looks nice with the black reel seat and the black aesthetics and that. The cosmetics and that. It looks really nice. But I've ordered the 7/8, which is like a 4.2 inch diameter. Which I've also ordered another Witchwood line with that. I've ordered the Witchwood Series 2 Ghost Intermediate. And I just wanted to experiment. I wanted to see, I mean, weight-wise, it's not, I mean, there's like 5 odd ounces. Again, I'll show you the guys the specs and the weights of this reel and the fin. And you can pause it and have a look through if you want. They're not that heavy, and you certainly don't notice it when you're casting with your rod, you know. I know there's some folk out there that prattle on about, oh, it's like 3 inches too heavy, and I'm like, no, you're not going to get a stiff wrist casting with these reels. I can tell you that straight off the bat. But I've ordered the 7/8 one just for the slightly wider diameter spool for faster line retrieve. Because I mean, this is good. 3.9 inches. This is good. I do find though sometimes I've got quite a bit of line out, I'm having to wind for a bit longer, and with a slightly wider framed reel, obviously less turns, more line comes in, you know. And it doesn't look aesthetically, when you're against a 10-foot rod, it doesn't look like it's too big for the rod. I mean, my GX 900 is the same diameter, my Howdy ultralight reel is the same. It's 4 odd inches in width, and it looks fine on a 10-foot or even on a 9-foot rod. But purely for my own personal sort of reasons, I wanted to have it so that just wanted to see how quickly I can get in the line retrieval rate between that and this one. And that's the only reason why I bought it. And it's not going to unbalance your outfit. If you buy a 7/8 reel and you've got a 6 weight rod, trust me, it's not going to leave it unbalanced at all. At all. Everyone says that they are, they're talking nonsense, right? Talking shite. So yeah, that's the only reason why I bought it. I quite like a slightly wider spool. I bought this one, and yeah, I quite like that. It's very similar to, well, it is the same as that, and it is the same as this. So I'm just going to have another reel with another line. And some people might go, oh, well, Ross, why don't you buy the cassette versions? And then you got all the cassettes with your line, and you just change it on the, well, yeah, I'm funny like that. I like reels, and I like to own reels. So this is like reel number, what is this now? Reel number 12, 10 or 12. No, I've got 10 reels now and 12 fly rods. When the new reel arrives, I'm going to have 11 reels and 12 fly rods. I know, folkies, I just like my kit, you know, but these are great. These are really robust. Guys, if you're looking for a new reel, definitely look for this one as opposed to the fin and the tail. This is really nice. It looks the part, and I think Greys have done a great job in it. And with these reels, you don't need a counterbalance weight on, you know, like we have on all of our other reels, because they're solid, they're heavier. The weight is in the frames, and that's what stops, you know, your spools from bird's nest, and obviously the drag as well. But the counterweights are built into the frame of these spools because they're heavier, so you can get away with that. So yeah, definitely, I would say, folkies, Greys, you've done a good job here with the cruise. I really am impressed with it. I'm looking forward to 7/8, and that's going to be my intermediate reel. This will be my hover reel. This is my floating reel, and this is my other floating reel when I'm up in the lochs. So I hope you've enjoyed me prattling on and just showing you my own take on why I like these reels and the little bits I don't like about them. I've been rabbiting on for 20 minutes. I can't believe I've been chatting that long. I'll hope to see you on the water soon. Enjoy your weekend, folks, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ta-da for now. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. See you later on.